In less than an hour, Katrinka had been given proper clothing, a haircut, and various documents, including some papers from her knapsack. A copy of her photo had been superimposed onto a new ID. Nye watched as she pirouetted in front of him in her new clothes. "What do you think?" she asked. She was wearing a dark brown farm skirt with a tucked-in blouse, jumper, and a beret. She looked like a schoolgirl. Makeup covered most of her bruising, and the clothing did the rest. He knew her knife, the one Emerson had given her long ago, was sheathed and hidden in the waistband of her skirt. Worry gnawed at the man's gut. There was so much more she needed. Agents trained for months in the art of field work. The slightest mistake would give her away. He counted on her going unnoticed. And, deep in his heart, he knew this young woman standing before him had watched her grow up on the decks of Le Flaneur and its rough-and-tumble sort of life. Her schooling had been an assortment of tutors and teachers, old deckhands, her French grandmother, and both fathers. Her morals and values had been formed by close observations, and her heart. And the thread running through it all had been her fierce, unequivocal need for independence. Although not formally trained, she had an instinct for survival, naive bravery, and a rather wild, almost savage unpredictability that was perfectly suited for the job. He smiled at her. "You'll do fine, Katrinka." She picked up her bag. "Wait." She looked at him. "I just want to make sure you're set for this." "I'm fine, Wills." "You've had a rough couple of days." She paled. He took a deep breath. "I think you should see a doctor or a clinic in the village. It can be arranged when you return." "I'd rather not." "I really must insist. The men might have given you something. A simple test could clear it all up." She was sweating. "I don't like doctors." Nye knew of her deep-seated, almost irrational fear, but this could not be ignored, and she knew it. "So, you would put Farr at risk?" She coloured to the top of her hairline, and her face clenched with anger. Swinging her arm, she swept the papers from his table. They fluttered in the air like disturbed birds, scattering to the ground. "So, it is not over. It was not enough. Now I must worry about disease as well? Or how about pregnancy? Have you thought of that one?" Nye was silent. "Make the appointment. Let the doctor prod and poke to see what he may find. I've never—" She stopped suddenly, catching sight of his expression. God knows what she saw there. The misery he was feeling must have shown. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet, her anger gone. "I'm sorry, Wills. I'm being stupid. And you are right. I'll go. If you could tell me where—" "Sweetheart, don't worry about it. Raphael will arrange the appointment for you when you return. I'll go with you if you like." "And who would save France while you were holding my hand?" She shook her head, giving him the ghost of a smile. "Thank you, Wills. But I'll be all right." He felt a great sense of relief. "Well, then, that's settled. Now I think you'd best be on your way." They walked outside to where Farr stood waiting beside the bicycle. Nye handed her a piece of silk with a map and various directions written on it. "Conceal this in the handlebars of your bike. They unscrew easily. Remember, all you need to do is contact your father, get the plastique, and bring it to Bouchard's farm. He's been told to expect a delivery by an agent sometime tomorrow evening. He'll take the plastique from there." "I'll give Papa your love." "Do that." Nye pulled her close for a moment. "Katrinka, I have no right to ask you this, but if you should be stopped, if you could manage to hold out, even for a day, it would give us time to move the team. It would give them a chance." She replied, her eyes sombre. "I hope they would get nothing from me. I know so very little as it is." He turned her around, her back to Farr. He did not want the man to see what he was about to do. "In case you are detained, if it gets bad, I want you to have this." He slipped a miniature vial into her hand, containing a small tablet. "What is it?" "It gets you out of it all."